Hi guys. So today, what we are going to start is apparently, even though I was hired as a Golang dev, I think I'll be tasked to migrate all the Golang services to .NET, where I work. So apparently, I have to now learn .NET. Yay! So for that, I actually did Conway's Game of Life simulation a couple of days ago, and it is still like incomplete to its finest. Like I still have to optimize it, and it was in Golang. So I'm now I will try to port that simulation to .NET now. Just because like I don't have to deal with the architecture, design, and logic and all of that, and I just have to focus on the syntax and the .NET specific things. So that should be pretty fun. So let me actually go to Go and then Conway's Game of Life, and then let me just run this. So yeah, it's pretty much this. I think it's good enough for now. I actually has another implementation, but it is in my company's laptop and they track everything, so I can't even push to my GitHub, and I'm too lazy to like copy paste what I have there. And I have like the version that is superior to what I have now here in my personal laptop, but still I'm going to port what I have here to .NET. So okay, so let me just open this, and then let me just open this. So this is like what I have right now. So let me actually see what the video is like. What? I can't even open it. What is going on? Open with MPV. Alright, why can't I open it? MPV 2020 2025 20 what? MPV 2020. Okay, not recognize file format. Okay, let me just check the stop and check the video quality. Alright, so that recording is good enough. So this is my Golang project. So it's pretty basic. So I have this so I have like two packages, one for config manager, whose like basic job is to read this config file where the C data is defined and the where the world data is defined, and it just reads that, and then it constructs a cell with the C data. And if you are wondering what is a cell, it's just a struct world which like expects a world interface with these functions. And this I have this function, I have this function, I have this function to create cells, I have this function to check if it is alive or not, and I have this decide function that actually takes the active number of neighbors around it and then decides if its next state should be alive or dead basically. And then set decision if is a function that sets the alive value that I have in this struct. So yeah, and then this world interface is, wait a minute, have I not even used the world interface? I thought I used this interface what? Let me just check. Jump to references. So I haven't even used it yet. So I was trying to make it a bit compact, but anyways, so this is the config, that is the cell, and I have this world package which is a frame, right? It has an array of cells. So I have cells in rows, and then I have cells in columns, and then I have world struct, which has rows, columns, active frame, and buffer frame. So why active frame and buffer frame, if you ask me? Then it's because like, when you are calculating the next state, you cannot update the current frame because the neighbor cells depend on the state of current cell that I'm trying to calculate the next state of. So to update the current cell's state, next state, I have to update this in buffer frame, and I just swap them out when I need to display the next state, next world state. So this new world function just returns a world, and this just initializes frames. It actually initializes all the dead cells, and this actually just displays it. It actually like prints, like constructs a string to blast it out on the screen, and this actually displays it. Yeah, this actually like blasts it out. And the next function is the core of this Conway Scheme of Life project. It actually calculates the active neighbors, and then it decides the next state, and it actually checks the alive cell for next iteration, and then it sets like the new state of the cell in the buffer frame. And then I actually swap the frame after I calculate the next state of all the cells in the frame. And then and then I return if there are active cells or not, and if there are no active cells, I actually wait, like break out the loop, and the program exits. So yeah, I have this sleep function as well, I have display functions, and I seed the world here, and the config actually like returns the active cells, and I seed it out this. So this just assigns active cells, and this swaps frames. This is the next function. So these are the functions that actually like decide, like check, help checking active neighbors. So yeah, pretty easy project. And this actually calculates the active neighbors, and it uses all these functions right here. So yeah, that is all there is for Golang. So now for .NET, I don't even know how to start a .NET project. So .NET, I know that .NET is a framework built off of C#, like, right? So C# is the language that I'm trying to learn first, and .NET is the framework that uses this language basically. So I'll be creating a CLI app with C#. So, and I do not know how to do that. So to learn about it, I will go to .NET. Okay, so alright, so for this I need to, okay, we can make cloud as well, we can make mobile and desktop app. Okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, pretty bold claim here. Alright, explore learning portal, let's go here. Programming at C#, okay, maybe I need to do this before I go to ASP.NET, Blazor. I've heard of Blazor, F#, robust performance code. Okay, programming with F#, and then game development. I've heard of C# being used in game development, especially in Unity. So yeah, okay. Alright, let's go here. Showcases C# knowledge with a new foundation. Okay. And we will not use Visual Studio for this because I don't want to use it yet. And I've heard people using Visual Studio instead of Visual, like VS Code. So yeah, I don't know what that is yet. Alright, so let's go learns. Okay, get started. .NET console application written in C#, select run code or try. I don't know. We will not be using this online compiler. We will be using like our local machine. What? Intro strings. Okay, strings. I do not want to learn from this. I want to learn from... What is this, man? Documentation, architecture guides. Right, learn docs. Languages, C#. Alright, so fundamentals. Let's go through here. Yep, this looks good. Anyways, so first I need to get started, and then C#. I need to download some kind of runtime, right? C# is not compiled, I think, and I need a runtime for that. So for that, where is the download section? Where is the download section, man? C# documentation, C# video series, references, a tour of C#. Maybe I need to do this before I do anything else. Okay, let's just create a hello world in C#, right? C# syntax for a while. Okay, wait a minute. Where do I download what? What do I create here? Okay, do I have .NET? I do not have .NET. Maybe I can install .NET like this. There is no .NET. .NET runtime. If you want to .NET SDK. Where do I find .NET Arch Linux? .NET SDK. Maybe I need to install this. Maybe I need to read this. So let's just Alpine CentOS. There is no Arch Linux. Anyways, we can go for manual installation. .NET 8. Let's go with 8 because I've heard this is a stable one, and this is what. Okay, what is this? Okay, 8. So this will what we'll be using for migration in my office. So maybe this is good for me. Package manager instructions, binaries. Okay, package manager instructions. Let's go there. Azure Linux. What is this? Azure Linux, really? Anyways, let's go to Ubuntu, and we can figure out what we need to install. Okay, it is .NET SDK. So I saw that on ArchWiki as well. So let's just install it. .NET SDK 9.0. Sorry, 8 what? 8.0.16. 8.0. Let's just do this. Okay, 8.0.15. 8. I mean, it should be okay because it's just a security patch. Alright, install the runtime. Alternatives. Okay, dependencies. We have this. Unsupported versions. How to install other. Okay, we don't need this. We don't need this right now. Okay, I have .NET SDKs. So I have .NET 8. Okay. Next steps. Okay, let's just create. Okay, this is okay. Now C#, right? What is the extension for C#? What do I create in here? C#. .cs. Alright, so let me just create a file, right? Vim prog c.cs. Okay, What is the okay console.writeline hello world, console.writeline hello world, stop maven super maven spot. Okay, let me also use tmux here. .NET help, .NET, do I have run in here? How do I run this application? How do I run this application? There's not even anything in here. Hello world and text. Alright, run your first program. Okay, congratulations, you ran your first program. What? How do I even build this, man? .NET build specific project solution found the one. What? Modify Visual Studio Solution SDKs run .NET project. Okay. .NET run. Cannot find a project to run .NET. Project exists. What do you mean a project exists? .NET run c.cs. What? Do I not have a C# compiler instead of .NET? I don't know what this is, man. Okay, create a new .NET. Okay, let me just create a new one. c.cs .NET new console. Let's do console. Okay, so I have these file structure, and I have program.cs and .NET.cs process. Maybe this is what that error was referring to, because it has all these SDKs definitions and all these. Okay, this is like XML, right? So which is pretty like okay, so I'm using Microsoft.NET SDK. There is this property group. Output type is exe. What? How would I even run exe in Linux? Let's just go through it. I have .NET 8.0. I have implicit usings. I don't know what this means. Okay, nullable. Maybe it's like the same thing as, you know, strict type checking in TypeScript. Okay. Okay. .NET build. Alright. Okay. .NET run. I have .NET run. Is there like a hot reload or something here? Add build, clean format, MS new backbone, restore run, store, VSA workload, watch, start a file, was okay, so this is what I want. Okay, so this is what I want. Just create something in here so that we don't have to go back and forth, since we're using just console. .NET watch. What? To install missing framework. What? You must install an update .NET to run this architecture framework. No frameworks were found. What? What framework? I need to install a framework for this to work? Really? .NET location, no frameworks were found. Launch failed. Okay, let's just go through here. Let's just copy the line. What? How to do this first. Search panel, search selection section, unchecked. Okay. Search panel. Where is the search panel? Settings, search panel. So search suggestions, so recent searches. Alright, let's just disable this, and then when I type anything, what is this, man? What's going on? Settings, search. So search suggestions, open tabs, browsing history. Okay, maybe this is the one. Nope. Bookmarks. Okay, this is the one. Oh right, this is it. Alright. Okay, now what was I saying? aka.ms launch failed. Okay, let's just search here. You must install .NET. There must include download page. You can .NET version host version .NET downloads. Okay, or downloads. What is this? So there's this SDKs, right? So this is the software development kit. So this is what I will be using when I'm developing something. And runtime means like runtime actually executes whatever I spit out of this SDK after building this SDK, right? So I currently have SDKs, right? But why is this not even running? Why is this not running? Why is this not running? Anyways, I don't need this right now. So yeah, let's just go with the flow. Alright, so let's just go from here. So console.writeline hello world. So this is how you display something to the screen, right? Okay. Now what I need to do is I can declare variables using something like this, and then I can write line like this, a string. Okay, like I have to explicitly pass the type and then the variable name, identifier, and then the value. Okay, the first line declares a variable. You can have declaration of the and its initial assignment. Okay, do not delete the declaration of adfriend. Okay, adfriend is Maria console. Notice the same reference to different messages based on the values stored in the afriend variable. Okay, so can I do this? Can I do a friend equals asd and console.writeline a. Can I do this? .NET build. I cannot do this. Why can't I do this? Build failed. Why what? Where's the error message? Oh, okay, expected this. Okay. Afriend does not exist in current context. What? Okay, so maybe I need to do something like string, and then this will okay. Okay. So I can do this. Okay. And then I can concatenate a string like this, and I can like substitute string interpolation. I can do string interpolation like this. Okay, makes sense. Okay, makes sense. Greeting. Alright, so console.writeline string interpolation. trimmed greetings. So there are strings. So this is basically like a class, and that has a lot of methods in here. So I can invoke methods out of this. Since this is like string type, it has a bunch of methods I can use inside it. So basically like JavaScript. Anyway, so there is like replace hello with greetings, and this will replace this. Search strings contains. Okay. Alright, this is okay for now. Let's go to numbers and explore integer math. Alright, so integer, so the integer has a type int a18, and then I can write line like this. And then the preceding code to demonstrate fundamental math operations, or subtraction, multiplication, division, pretty basic stuff. Okay, a plus, okay, this makes sense, this makes sense, this also makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense, integer max value, okay, I have this as well, pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, so this is all there is, right? So I have also double numeric represents double precision floating point numbers. Okay, these are floating points, doesn't. Alright. Work with decimal types. There is one another type to learn. Okay, so there's also decimal type. Similar range but greater precision than double. Okay, this is cool. You can see the greater precision in decimal type by trying the following code. 1 double this is this. Notice that the math using the decimal type has more digits to the right of the decimal point. Alright. Alright, this makes sense. So there are tuples as well. Tuples or tuples. Tuples are ordered sequence of values with a fixed length. Each element of a tuple has a type and an optional name. The following code declares a tuple that represents a 2D point. Select the run button to paste the following code into the interactive window and run it. Okay, so you can define tuple like this, which has like the name and then the value, variable slope, double. Okay, so this is casting, right? Okay, explicit casting of integer to double and then integer to double. Okay, let me just try this, and you can access the values like this. Okay, so let me just try this, right? I have this tuple, right? Okay, so how do you, what is the type of, so you can just do this, and this will like assign any type, like this will infer type during assignment. Okay, that's pretty cool. So can I do this var ars1, and I need to do this, so console dot write line .NET run. Okay, maybe console dot write line. Sorry, can I do this? Alright. Can I check the type of a variable? She saw. Okay, how do I check the type? Get type method. Okay, do I have what is its type? Int32. Alright. What happens if I do 1.0 float system to double? Okay, what about this system.decimal? Okay, alright. So okay, anyways, where was I? tuple thread. So var tuple is equals to, x is 1 and y is 2, and then I can access it like t.x. t.x. What? Oh, sorry. Okay, this is fine. And then what was I thinking about? Okay, so can I do t.x divided by t.y? This should be 0. Okay, I got it. Double, and then if I do double, then I get the floating point answer that I'm expecting. Yep, makes sense. Can I do float? Float. Okay, float is working. What about decimal? Okay, pretty cool. And then yeah, this makes sense. Very well. Okay, with you can also create a tuple that's a modified copy of the original using a with expression. What? With expression? Add the following code after the code already in the interactive when pt with y is equals to. Okay. So var tt is equals to t with y. T with, what is this? Y equals 10. Can I just print t? Okay, this prints, but can I print tt and t as well? Can I do this? I cannot. Can I convert from integer x and is y to string? What? Golang is better than this because Golang can print anything after comma. Maybe there's a method to do this here that I'm not aware of, but anyway. So okay, you can make a copy of it like this. Okay, what if, is this a shallow copy or a deep copy? Like if I do this and then I do tt.y is 10 21, what happens now? Okay, this is 21, but what is d? Okay, so these are this is a deep copy. So this is a deep copy. Got it. Anyways, so let's go further. Variable subscript is this. Okay, subscript. The variable subscript has two members, both of which are integers. Instance to create. Can I create? Okay, what are tuples? Let me just define auto fixed length each element of different. Okay, type and an optional name. Can I define tuples like this? Okay, nice. Can I do tt.y.get type? System.string. Okay. Wait a minute. What is this system thing? I haven't imported this. Maybe it's some kind of runtime thing. Anyways, it's public record point. Tuples are great for those times when you want multiple values in the same structure. They're lightweight and can be declared as they're used. Yeah. You find the same tuple thread. If an app does work in the 2D graphs with the tuples that represent the point might be common. Once you find that, you can declare a record type that stores those values and provides more capabilities. The following code sample uses a main method to represent the entry point for the program. In that way, you can declare a record type preceding the entry point in the code. Press the run. Okay. Public static void main. What? The following code declares and uses a record type to represent a point. Then uses that point structure in the main method. The record declaration is a single line. Okay, public record point, public double slope. So public record point, and then public. Okay, so these are like what you have in Golang, but yeah, I think I understand it, because like you can define a struct, and then you can define methods that associate with that struct and operate um, with the values inside that struct, and this is the same, right? Yeah. So you have a slope, right? You have a slope, pt does slope, so slope, okay. So pt is a point, right? So I define a point like this, and I define another point like this. The two points are this, right? So, and I have a method or a functions that a slope that associates with this point, right? And I can do pt does slope. Okay, that's pretty cool, but I don't like this jargon already. Okay, so like it is public for what? In Golang you can have like public and private methods for packages. Is it the same here or not? Alright, then add the following code. Okay, double slope, pt slope, public record struct point. Okay, struct class interface types. Okay, here's the definition. All name types in C# are either class struct types. A class is a reference type, a struct is a value type. Variables of a value type store the contents of the instance inline in memory. In other words, a record struct point stores two integers x and y. Variables okay, variables of reference type. In practice, that means value types are copied when assigned, right? Okay, value types are copied when, but a copy of a class instance is a copy of the reference. Okay, class. Okay, when you assign a class, you actually assign the reference to that class. The copied reference refers to the same instance of a point with the same stories for x and y. Okay, that makes sense. So let me just go again here. Public record point, which is of type tuple, but it's of type record here, and then I define this. So because this is at a global level, I have to like explicitly define an entry point for this program, right? Because okay, let me just try this, right? Public record point. Okay, public record point, and I have int x and int y. Int x and int y, and then I have like something like, you know, how do you even define this? Okay, point p is point, type is point, and then p is equals to new point, and you assign some points in here. Okay, and then you go console dot write line. The 2 points are pt and pt2. Okay, let's just like, you know, print this. Can I do this? Top level statements must precede namespace and type declarations. Top level statements must precede namespace and type declaration. Okay, so can I do this? Can I do this? Okay, so up until this point there is no namespace, so this is a namespace. What is a namespace? So namespace is something that you create or scope some, you know, some resources or entities in your programs. So there is a concept of namespace here. Interesting. So this is okay, so this is like the main namespace, right? So either, okay, this is also a main namespace, but you have a different there's only one namespace here, that is global namespace. And the .NET framework knows how to build and execute, knows how to execute this, because this is like executing like line by line. But once you have a namespace, anything that is below this, because okay, I get it. So .NET executes this, and then .NET executes this. Now this creates like a namespace record inside of .NET runtime. And now to execute anything below this namespace, you need to have a main namespace. This is a global namespace, right? Now .NET defines a namespace. Now .NET is aware that there is some sort of namespace going on, so it now needs to find you know, the main namespace that it wants to execute, because the global namespace, it's over because you have this. Is it really over? What if I like do this? Okay, let's just ask ChatGPT. Chat and then just give it this error. Let's just put some top level statements. Any declaration like classes, structs, records, namespace must come after all top level statements. Move all top level statements like this after any type or namespace declarations, or encapsulate everything inside a main method or a class. Okay. Defines a namespace or a record first. Move type declaration before top level statements. Okay, this is okay. Really? This is not okay. This is ChatGPT is just hallucinating at this point. Use a traditional main method instead. If you're not what is this? This doesn't work. What? This in C# or .NET. Let's just outside of the top level context after a type declaration where it's failing. Top level statements are allowed. They let you skip boilerplate like a public static void main, but there is a rule. All top level statements must come before any type declarations. Okay. What are namespaces? Namespaces is a word organized group related code, or namespace geometry, or bring it with using geometry. So this brings another namespace in another file. Okay. Geometry to the point, device namespace. Okay, what is the main namespace? What is top level namespace and main namespace? Namespace mode is C# special top level. So if you write code without wrapping it in a namespace, you are effectively putting it into a global or unnamed namespace. Namespaces in .NET. Namespaces in .NET. Global namespace. What is a global namespace? Types that are declared inside a named namespace when used with does qualify the global, and yes always refers to the global namespace. Okay. What? I don't even understand. Like a main namespace isn't an official C# term, but in context it uses a primary namespace in program. Often it matches your project or assembly name. Like MyApp, it contains your main classes, like program or startup. Namespace MyApp. Public class program, public static void main, public record point. What the heck is this? Okay, can I do this? Public static void main, public static void main, console .NET run. Okay, public is not valid. Top level statement must precede namespace and what? Public static void main public record. I am doing it like this. What are you talking about? Top level statements must precede namespace and type declarations. The modifier public is not valid for this item. Public static void main. What? Okay, maybe this is the issue. This was the issue, but modify public is not valid. Public record point. Public record point. What? Maybe it's for .NET 9. Yeah, I think it's for .NET 9. Come on. Why is it taking so much time? What is it? What's going on here? Why is it taking so long? Oops. Public record point, public static void. I'm like exactly doing what this does, and this does not work. Really? What? What is going on here? The preceding record declaration is a single line of code that ends in like, okay, you can add behavior to, yeah, I know this. What? Maybe I need to like learn classes first. Classes in C#. Turn computer must be reset to run the following sample. The following code declares and uses a record type to represent a point, and then use that point structure in the main method public static. Okay, let's just do this, right? Let's just do this. This even what? Can I do this? Public is not valid for this item. Local function main is declared but never used. What? Public static void main. Okay. Entry point for C#. Traditional entry point pre C#9. Okay. This is C#9. What? I need a C#8. How to learn C#8, man? C# tutorials, beginner videos. I don't need videos, man. What? Pre-C# top level statements. Okay. What? Am I using C#9? SDK. Okay. And .NET is runtimes is 8. Okay. What? Info. Okay. Host version 9.0.4. What? SDK version. .NET host version. .NET executable is 9. This is .NET version can be newer than that. This is normal install SDKs and runtimes. CLI host is 9. Okay, maybe this is not the issue. Okay. So using system on namespace program. Cannot directly contain members such as fields, methods, or statements. Okay. Anyway, so what was it suggesting? Public class program, public static void main. Okay, public class program. What is this? Okay. Can I do this? What? Startup object. Oh, okay. So maybe this is defined in here. exe.net implicit usings disabled. What if I nullable is enabled? Nullable is okay. Let's just do this. Okay. If I do this will fail, right? And the console does not exist, so I have to explicitly import this namespace here using system, and I can access the console is within the system namespace, so I can do this, right? System, can I do this? Okay. Oh, okay. So I can do using system.console, and I can just do this. Okay, this does not work. Console is a type, not a namespace. Consider using static. Okay, using static system.console. Okay, what is the difference, man? System or using static system, static members of the console. Oh, okay. Static members of the console, like write line without prefixing them. This makes for sure cleaner. Okay. Yeah, I know this. Public static void main. All right. Using static version. Console. Alright, this makes sense. Am I recording? Yep, I'm recording. Hey Siri, set up timer for 10 minutes. Alright, so okay, so where was I? Okay, let's just go through here. Let's just disable the branches and loops. Okay, so now we are for if statements and loops conditional logics. Okay, if and then bracket and then the condition and then this, right? Okay, I don't need, what? Do I have this scope already? If to console dot can I do this? Okay, wait a minute. Unreachable code. Console does not exist in the current context. Okay, let me just do. Okay. Unreachable code detected. Okay, yeah. Alright, so, but if I do this, then this does not work. I have to like explicitly scope it out. Okay, so what if I do this, right? Is this a valid CSAT code? Yup. Okay. So this is the same, like, this is the same, like, variable I is 1. And this will fail because this is not in scope. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Anyway, so if make if else, if is else, if and else, because indentation is insignificant, you need to use this to indicate when you want more than one statement. Yeah. So these are the logical operators. And represent or, use loops, while, counter. Okay, there's a while loop, and then there's a do while loop as well. Pretty classic stuff. Work with the for loop, for and counter. Okay. On create nested loops. Okay. Okay, there's this for loop for, and this is pretty classic C for loop. Okay, for character column A and column is smaller than key, column plus plus. What is this? You can go through a range in ASCII tables. Okay, what? You can even do this. For I is A until I is smaller than X, I plus plus. Okay, why do I always forget the semicolons, man? I does not exist. Okay, wait a minute. I does not exist for character column. Okay. Okay, what if this is an integer? Okay, what if this is a float? This should fail. What can I do this like? I said okay. Can I do this? Okay, yes I can. And then I cannot do this. So these are characters, right? So the fundamental variables that we have in C# are integers, floats, doubles, decimals, characters, and strings are not fundamentals, but characters are. Is character a fundamental type? Is in C#. So shown in character. Okay, characters are fundamental. The character type, character by system with character structure type that represents a UTF-16 code. What? Choose tuples in list collections. Okay, branches and numbers, tuples and types. Okay, maybe we have that here. Characters. Nope. Anyways, so let's just go through this. Create nested loops, combine branches. Okay, yeah. Pretty standard stuff. Learn to manage data collections using list D in. Okay, there is a concept of generics. Okay, so list of type string. Oh, maybe. I mean this. Yeah. This is not a generic anyway. Anyways, list of strings for each. So there's also for each variable name in names. Okay. Modify the list contents. Names.add. So you have this list.add. Okay, list have multiple methods within it. Yeah, pretty standard. Search and sort. Names.index of this. So it is to search it. Index of method search for items and then okay. For each variable name and names, a list of other types. You have been using the string type in list so far. Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers to count -1. Okay, so count is the length of the list. Okay, pattern matching. What is this? Pattern matching, match a value. All the examples in this tutorials use text input that represents a series of bank transactions as comma separated values, bank records, double current balance, readers, okay, deposit, okay. While string, so the string could be null. Var reader is new string readers for bank records. If string dot is null or white space, if string dot is null or white space, then continue, else split with commas. And then string transaction type is this, if it's not null, just trim it out. If double dot try parse this, double dot try parse and out double amount. What is this? What? Where's the amount? Am I like declaring a new variable right here? Double dot try, if this comma this, what kind of, okay, so try parse this, and then what is this function? What is this function, man? Well, what is this? This is snippet. If transaction type the two upper is deposit, current balance is okay, yeah. So this is nullable if double the try parse parts 1. So the transaction type is if this is nullable, but okay. Yeah, I really hate this use of, question mark. I hate this when I did TypeScript, JavaScript, and I hate it here. I just love that Go didn't have that, and it made us do explicit nil checks. I just like that more than this. So anyways, so string transaction type is this, right? So okay, makes sense. If double dot try parse parts 1 is this, right? So double the try parse out double amount. Where is this defined? What is this? Okay, these are the arguments to this function, right? So try parse this amount. What is this, man? Okay, so can I do this? Double the try. Okay, yeah, stop it. Double the try parse. One dot, okay, 1, and then out double amount. Okay, so now can I access the amount? Because This is declaring, right? Okay, I do not have the LSB. Anyways, console.writeLine. Can I do this? Yes, I can. So this is actually like, okay, let's ask Jeopardy what's going on here. Here's what it works. Amount is declared in line using the out variable features added. Out variables, and explain the out variable feature. You have to declare the variable, okay, double amount, and then try parse this. Out variable double the try parse. Okay, what? Can I do this? One dot get type out a. Is this a valid? Is this a valid C# code? The A name doesn't exist in current context. Why does this fail? Why is this wrong? It is like one or not valid object instances to call method return. You're gonna get time. Not even trying to use out or other modifiers. The compiler treats one as floating per literals. Okay. Okay, but can I do can I do this? I cannot do this. Calculate the radius. Okay, the function needs to like support this, right? Or is it like, oh, okay, let me just try it out. So we have function. How do you define a function in C#? Function in C#, local functions, lambda functions. Okay, there are lambda functions. Anyway, so public static void main, and then I have using public class program. This should run, right? Now if I have a function public void, public, like public integer hey, return 1, right? And then if I do like hey out a, is this valid? Chat, is this valid? It is not. It does not exist in current context. Out. Okay, maybe I need to give it like, okay, yeah, it needs type. This is a typing. Hey takes 1 arguments. Okay, but how do I make it take? Okay, so maybe let's just do this. Argument 1 may not be passed with out keyboard. So how can I pass? Can I do this? Out parameter equals assigned before the control leaves the current methods. Okay, so x is equals to 1, and then also return 1. An object reference is required for the non-static field method. Object reference, I don't know, man. Local functions, out keyword, out double, circumference and area, calculate circumference in area, double radius, out double circumference. Okay, so okay, out double circumference. Okay, so void, and then this is like public static void. So this is valid, right? An object reference is required for the non-static field method property program.hey. Object reference is required. Okay. What? Public void mean public static void calculate. Okay. I cannot do that here, and I need to do that here. Public static void. Public static void. What? Okay, fine. Okay, that makes sense. So try parse takes this inline, so you can just do this inline. So does this mean like I can do int and then return x var y is this console.y and then y. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Okay, so this can do both things. Now can I like do this and just like use the return value instead of, okay, there's no argument correspond. Okay, sorry, x is okay, return 1. What? Wait a minute. There's no argument given that corresponds to the parameter x. Okay. The parameter x must be assigned before control leaves. Okay. There is no parameter x. Okay. So I cannot like I have to provide the inline. Okay. So I need to provide this if this function expects. Okay. Makes sense. Examine the enum match. Another common use of pattern matching is to match on the values of an enum type. Sorry, that's just plain passing by. Out and about. Yeah. Anyway, so public static void main. Okay. Transaction to type, deposit, first amount. Yeah. Pattern matching is static I enumerable of transaction type. Okay. Okay, now I need to understand this, but this is like almost 11 p.m. and I'm too sleepy right now. But anyway, let's just go through this. Okay, I have a lot of this. Okay, let's just bookmark this right here. What? So yeah, so yep, this is all for today, guys. I will see you the next time we attempt to learn C#. Maybe it's, yeah, I will learn that tomorrow actually. Yeah, see you guys.